Hello, this is Man with a Plan. I have another plan I'm going to start today. I'm not going to finish it today, but I will get it started. My wife is making a memory planter for her mother, and she needs some wood to put some words on in remembrance of. And I have some hemlock boards I had cut up with my chainsaw with a chainsaw mill up at camp, and I had a couple of them laying around. I'm going to plane them down, get them a little smoother, and get them a little bit smaller with my thicknessing machine. And so it's going to be a little bit noisy and back and forth, but like I said, this is just the beginning. Then we have to put the words on it. Then we have to put a few coats of some sort of polyurethane on it to make sure it lasts through the weather. But this is just the start of it. We'll finish it up later this week. But I do need to get the wood going so we have a size, so we can size up the letters and everything. So let's get started. Okay, I'll be using this Ryobi 10-inch surface planer. It's a 10-inch. It goes up to about, looks like about 5 inches thickness. And I'm going to be planing down using that. There's a couple boards I have. Like I said, these are old hemlock. I sawed a few years ago with a chainsaw mill. As you can see the cut on it, it's a little bit rough, but that's what a chainsaw mill does. But I am going to plane it down. This surface planer I've had for, I don't know, 20 years. I used it quite a bit. I plane a lot of stuff down. The only problem I have with it is finding somebody to sharpen the knives for me. The knives naturally get dull and they need to be sharpened. And other than that, it's ran good. I have no complaints on it. The blades are easy to set once you get them sharpened. To put in there, it takes a few minutes. And I wish you could still buy these. I don't think you can buy them anymore. I think they were discontinued, but it was one of the best little investments I made. I don't have a lot of room in a large shop, but I have made some small furniture like kids furniture, rocking chairs, things that, and even a crib, and everything that I had to get a thickness on has come from that planer. Now, in order to start it, I got to make sure I have it up high enough. This thing does not cut very fast. It only cuts, you see each turn of this is actually a 1/16 of an inch. And then you try not to, depending upon the width. I mean, naturally, if you have a narrow board, you can go a little faster. But these wider boards, I'll probably only cut down about a 32nd at a time. I want to make sure I'm going to plane it. I don't need this much wood, but while I have the planer out, I have these two boards. I'm going to go ahead and plane them. As you see, they're not touching anything yet, so I'm going to try to get got a little tight there. Starting it takes a little bit of time till you start really cutting. I need to go down to, I'm just going to assume at least 3/4 of an inch. I might try to go down to a 1/2 inch. But let's get started. It is loud, so I am going to put hearing protection on. Good. I do have a measuring gauge here on the side. I can give you a close-up on it later. But it's around 3/4 of an inch right now. I am going to go down to 1/2 inch. If you look at this board here, it's starting to look pretty good. I mean, it's all planed down. This other board still has a bad spot in it. But once I get them planed flat on one side, I'm going to go ahead and turn them over and go down. I don't know. This may be the board I want to use and get it used up, but I still want to plane this one down while I have the planer out. So I'm going to flip them over and keep on going. That will level them both out on both sides. If you also notice, I turned on my ventilation fan. Once I got going, I realized I need some ventilation in here. Opened the bottom of the garage door and just kind of shooting it out. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Okay, I'm getting close to a 1/2 inch thickness, so I wanted to measure the calipers just to see how close I'm getting. And I'm still maybe a 32nd off here from 1/2 inch, and I might as well make these 1/2 inch. That way I know exactly what my other boards, what they're going to be. So yeah, I need to cut down a 32nd, and I usually go down from cutting a 1/16 when I'm not cutting much to get it down a little faster. Then I go to a 1/2 turn, which is a 32nd. And then when I start finishing, I'll go to a 1/4 turn, which is about a 64th. It puts a smoother finish on it, and you can control the end product better. Okay, that actually came out good. That's about a 1/2 inch product there. And she'll probably use no bigger than like half the size of, excuse me, this board right here. But you see it looks pretty good. You have the live edges on it, which gives you some sort of uniqueness. Now I'll give them the board, and they can place the letters where they want to. Then I'll cut around it a little bit and maybe round off the ends a little bit. However they want me to cut it, I'll cut it, whether they may not even want the live edge for all I know. I have this board I'll give to them to use. This one here was a 1/2 inch unplaned board or 3/4 I had laying around. I planed it down to 1/2 inch, and that way I can use it for other things. Who knows what product I'll use this on, a shelf or something, but I like the live edges, so I'll probably make something a little unique out of it where you can see one live edge, maybe like a shelf on the wall or something, straighten up one edge and leave the live edge out. I guess we'll wait and have to see what happens. Okay, only thing left of this little project is actually the cleanup. I do try to clean this up good every time. Keeps everything running smoothly and working good. Usually when the blades start going bad, you can tell by you'll start getting little lines and stuff in your wood product you're cutting. But I usually run it up. Then I'll blow her out with compressed air. And I can put it away. Now, some wood scraps I'll actually put on the garden and stuff. Hemlock I will not. I read somewhere that it's not very good for gardens. I will put like oak and some cherry. I'll put them on in the fall maybe. But walnut and hemlock I will not use. Also, in the wintertime when I was doing this and I had a lot of scrap left over and the chickens were a little bit muddy and stuff inside there, I would put it inside with the chickens too, just to kind of, you know, take a little bit of the mud away. I still wouldn't use the hemlock or and that will do. Okay, this is the hemlock that we had planed down. If you notice, this is the lettering that my niece made for us. She has a Cricut. She makes various things with it. It came out pretty good. Thank you, Amanda. We were appreciated. Now I got to cut it out. Cut it out like a little half circle up here. and take it down here to a point that will actually stick in the garden, and then we'll put that down. And then we'll just put a coat of polyurethane, a good coat on it after I sand it up a bit. And then it should be ready to go after a couple coats. And then she can make the flower pot and go from there. Okay, these lines are hand drawn in here. That should be okay. Definitely want to clamp the board down so it doesn't move around too much on me. And I'll be using this here right saw. I've had it for quite a few years. It works pretty good. It's pretty smooth cutting. It is a variable speed. So let's get started. Now, I'm going to go slow and easy on this because I don't want to have to sand too much. And we don't want to bust anything. Okay, that looks pretty good so far. We need to cut the part out. I always want to clamp it back here, and I want to be careful. We certainly don't want to bust anything. Okay, I got it all pretty good sanded. I sanded the front here a little bit and the back a little bit. Got the edges, kind of smoothed them out. Does not have to be perfect for the simple reason it's just going to be outside in a planter anyhow. I just went with a medium sandpaper and I used my Black & Decker Professional little hand sander. It's good enough for this. It's not perfectly symmetrical cut, but then again, this is for outside, so it shouldn't matter too much. I think it's going to look pretty good once you get the polyurethane and the words off of this backing here. I am going to take this in the house to put it on where I have a nice clean environment, wash my hands so I can pick everything up, and probably take a tack cloth to this to make sure I don't have any dust on it. So this has a good stick to it. All right, I'm getting ready to put the words on here. I normally am not allowed to work on the kitchen table, but for this project, my wife's allowing me. And so we're going to start slow, a little bit at a time. I'm trying to get it in the middle, get a good start.
Hopefully it might not all come off too bad.
I want to get it smooth. You can feel the words underneath it, but I want to make sure I get as many of the air bubbles out as I can. All of them, I would suppose you should. And I'll keep on working down. There's a little bit of a hump here, but it was in it. So I hope I can get most of it out. Can't go too fast, you can't go too hard. I don't want to rip it. This planter with this in it is going at the church she was a member of. I don't know whether I showed you or not, but I did wipe it down with a tack cloth first in order to make sure I had no dust underneath it. I certainly didn't want any dirt to get underneath it to cause it not to seal. I'm just trying to make sure all of it's sealed around the numbers and letters right now the best I can. And once again, thanks to our niece, Amanda, who made the lettering for us. Okay, the hard part seems to be peeling the top plastic off without the letters coming with it. But it's coming. And you have to, I guess, push down the letters again. Make sure they don't come off. See how that T lifted a little bit? I'm pushing it down. Seems like I got it started here. The only bad spot is this part over here ripped on me. I'll have to try to start it anew. I'd rather cut it and sand it than do this part. But we're getting there. Slowly but surely. Okay, those are the smaller letters. I would assume the bigger letters might come off a little easier. So far, so good. Another thing where patience seems to be a virtue on this. Looks like part of the E wants to come up there. Looks like I manipulated it enough. And voila. Try to lightly make sure everything's set down there. I don't want to go too hard. I certainly don't want to pick anything up. And there we go. One more step. Okay, it's time to paint now. I got this Hellsman spar urethane because it's good for outside. I needed something that was going to hold up. Regular polyurethane is good for indoor, but not necessarily for outdoor. I did drill a real tiny hole in the back of this so I could hang it up and make it a little bit easier to paint. That way I don't have to worry about flipping sides and everything else. I can paint it a couple times right here and it'll be ready to go. So I guess I'm going to get started. Okay, there's one quick coat. Don't want to run it, so I'm going to let that dry for a while. Okay, getting ready to hit it again. It's only been 15 or 20 minutes, but according to the directions, you should recoat within an hour and a half. It's starting to look a little dry, so I'm going to recoat it. If you don't recoat it within an hour and a half, they want you to wait 72 hours and lightly sand it. Well, I'm not going that route because that takes a lot of time. And I do pull my vehicles in here at night, but naturally while I'm spraying,
I don't want any vehicles in here. I don't want any of that overspray on it. So I'm gonna hit it again and probably wait another 15, 20 minutes, check to see if it's dry, then hit it again. Well, here goes the third coat. Definitely a good day for painting today. It is low humidity out today. Okay, this is the last coat it gets. Looking pretty good. Okay, good to go, I hope.